Okay, but now let's also take a look at flexible exchange rate. And it's not that there is absolutely nothing wrong with flexible exchange rate regimes. There are some concerns. So you should all remember this equation. IT divided by 1 plus IT star plus 1E. Okay. Now, of course, we can go one period forward. So what we can write, suppose we want to find the value of this. So the value of this can be written as ET plus 1E. This is equal to plus 1 expectation 1 plus I plus 1. This is also expectation times ET plus 2. So what we can do is we can take this value and plug it in here, right? But we can go further. We can go further. Suppose we want to find the value of this. So what is the value of t plus 2? So that is nothing but 1 plus IT plus 2 expectation 1 plus IT plus 2 its expectation times E t plus 3. So what we can do is take this value and plug that in here, and then of course plug this in here. But notice once again we can go further. What's the value of this? And see, we can write down another equation, and we can go on and on and on and plug it in. And ultimately, what we are going to end up with, bring it down, expected exchange rate is going to be equal to 1 plus IT times 1 plus IT plus 1 expectation plus 1 plus IT plus 2 expectation, and so on, depending on how many years in the future we are going. Plus IT plus n number of years. Down here we have the international interest rate. And so on until we come here. And we're going to multiply this with E t plus n number of years plus 1 expectation, right? So now n depends on how many years into the future we are looking at. If we're looking at 10 years into the future, it's 10 and so on. So from this equation, we have a few takeaways, right? First is that our exchange rate moves directly with future exchange rate. So what that means is that if there is any movement in this, this will go up. And this is, it's important that I write this down. This is a direct one-to-one relationship. Right? What that means is that if this moves by 5, this will also move by 5. If this moves by 10, this will also move by 10. So see that if we are looking at a 10-year period, a change in our exchange rate, 10 years expected change in our exchange rate, 10 years into the future is going to affect our exchange rate right now. That's very volatile, right? Any changes next year, the year after that, the year after that, and irrespective of how many years into the future we're looking at, any changes in the expected exchange rate in that distant future is going to affect our exchange rate right now. That's very volatile. Second of all, is that exchange rate moves whenever interest rate moves in any country at any time. That's another thing. First of all, not only will the exchange rate change whenever there's a change in the interest rate in Bangladesh, it will also change whenever there's a change in interest rate in India, in USA, in any other country. It's all part of it. That's one. Second of all, this change can come at any time. So you see that if we expect interest rate in Bangladesh to change today, the exchange rate will change. But if we also expect interest rate to change in India 2 years later, that will also change our exchange rate today. So once again, you see how volatile this is. Some expected change 10 years from today is going to change our exchange rate today. That makes it additionally volatile. And so a combination of these two brings us to the third point, is that flexible exchange rate are extremely volatile. So that's one of the issues with flexible exchange rate regimes, is that you guys would have noticed it yourself. The value of taka against dollar or rupee or whatever it may be is always changing. It's always changing. And it's very difficult to know what the value will be in a week's time, in a month's time. So that volatility is a big problem.